Very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining me in the world for this little video from the Life After Death series. Just hopping on here to reply really to Bren from yesterday, from our little video yesterday about triggers. Bren was saying that her mum's been dead now for 5 years and she's still triggered and still missing her terribly. I'm sorry to hear that, Bren. And it's very difficult, it's very challenging. But I think my point yesterday was about triggers that surprise you, or that things that trigger you that you really didn't expect to trigger you. But I think your point was that, and I know you say everything triggers you, ask yourself, is it really everything? But to kind of help with easing the challenge around the triggering thing, Brent, what I'd like you to do is to make a list of the things that you already know that trigger you. So an example for me is like going to the cemetery. I hate going to this, even to visit anybody's grave, my dad, my grandmother, anybody's grave. Going to that cemetery is a trigger for me. I just cry as I go through the gates. So for me, I acknowledge that I don't like it. I make myself cry when I go in there as a result of it. So it's a trigger. So if you could maybe make a list, Bren, of all of the things that you know trigger you, and then try and put in place some sort of plan or strategy to avoid those things. What I was talking about yesterday was things that unexpectedly trigger you, and you can't really legislate for those. I mean, an example for me is, I don't know, maybe a year ago I was in McDonald's and I looked across and said, "Oh, there's Daddy," and he was like, "No, that's not your daddy. Daddy's dead 20 odd years ago." So things like that are spontaneous. But if you know things that trigger you, make a list of them, make a list maybe of where they happen, where they trigger you, and then set about making a plan to avoid those. Now, you can't necessarily legislate for those things that are unexpected, but you can manage your misery, if you like, by knowing the ones that do trigger you. And I know your mum, you said you miss your mum every day. A wee tip I have is, if you sit in front of an empty chair and you imagine that your mum is in front of you, or put a photograph of your mum, or however it is, you remember her and have a conversation. But for those people who are kind of have their religious faith, they know that the person is with them. But if you don't, and you know, I choose to believe that spirit, you know, this body that you're in is a shell, and when someone passes, their spirit lives on. So I don't know if you can take any comfort from that. Your mum is with you. She may not be in her shell or her body, but she is with you every day. And you know, if you talk to her privately, because there are some people who think this is all about wee wee, but if it helps you, then that's okay. So look, hopefully that gives you some insight or some help as to how you might be able to stop the triggers from tormenting you. And if anybody else has any questions, or anything that's troubling them, just let me know, and we'll see if we can come up with some sort of plan to minimize your distress. Have a good day. Take care. Bye.